you come to pricing, you've got operational costs, balancing upfront costs. You come to charging, you've got enough innovation happening and chargers being installed for the user to be more relaxed.
Right. पंकज आपको लगता है हमारे पास एक साथ बहुत सारे ऐसे सवाल आए मतलब लाइन से मुझे लगता है 10-20 सवाल थे क्या 10 साल में इंडिया में पेट्रोल डीजल व्हीकल जो है वो बंद हो जाएंगे क्या ऐसा हो सकता है ये सवाल यहाँ पर बैठे हुए लोगों के बीच में नाम नहीं बताऊंगा तो क्या बंद हो जाएंगे और सिर्फ ईवीज रह जाएंगे फिर ये सुजुकी कटाना मैं खरीदने वाला तो मैं क्या करूँगा उसका
जो अभी की जो करंट पॉलिसी है कि 10 साल में डीजल को आपको स्क्रैप करना होगा 15 साल में पेट्रोल के तो जो जिसके पास 15 साल का ऑप्शन है पेट्रोल में और 10 साल का ऑप्शन है डीजल में और ये सब कुछ 2-3 साल के बाद काउंटडाउन शुरू हो जाएगा सो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अनदर 15 to 20 years there will be a very diminishing petrol vehicles on the road and electric vehicle is going to skyrocket very fast. So right now if you see there are hardly 2% vehicle every month is being sold is electric, 98% is still fossil fuel vehicle. But this trend is changing very fast and over a period of time this scrapping policy will help a lot.
तो आप मेरे को एडवाइस कर रहे हो कि पेट्रोल में इन्वेस्ट नहीं करूँ मैं वो
15 साल के लिए कर सकते हो
राघव योर व्यूज ऑन दैट
So I'm on the same page. In fact, I'm more bullish on that 15-year number. I do agree कि 15 साल बाद तो you won't see much. But I am also of a vision कि after 5 to 7 years from now, if you have a petrol vehicle that you bought in 2022, you will look back and probably think कि शायद मैंने 2022 में वो गाड़ी ना खरीदी होती और EV खरीदी होती तो अच्छा रहता. Because awareness is going to increase. I mean, from the outside of the ecosystem, people might think कि हमारे पास चार्जर्स की प्रॉब्लम है, ऑपरेशनल कॉस्ट है. आज जब आप एक ईवी ओनर और एक आईसी ओनर को देखोगे और उनको बात करते हुए देखोगे क्योंकि वो खरीद चुका है ईवी, तो आप एक्चुअली में देख पाओगे कि वो ईवी ओनर प्रूफ कर पा रहा है आईसी वाले को कि मेरे को कॉस्ट का प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मैं चार्जिंग भी इजीली कर पा रहा हूँ. द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज ऑल्सो कमिंग अलोंग वेल एंड इनोवेशंस इन कार्स आर ऑल्सो हैपनिंग. रेंज इज इंक्रीजिंग, प्राइस इज डिक्रीजिंग. सो for me it's a matter of obviously 100% is a different metric to be reached, but when you talk about 70 to 80% of that, that's going to happen in the next 7-8 years.
Sanjay ji?
Yeah, I think I have a different view, even though from the same industry, but I think two-wheeler, three-wheeler, yes, adoption is happening very fast. So maybe 2030, 2035, 60%, 70%, which people are talking about. Right. Four-wheelers, it will take more time because you need to have the choices for the consumer. In IC engines, you have choices for the customer. You go to the manufacturer, you will have hundreds of choices. But in EV, you don't have so much choices. So when OEMs start developing choices, 20 cars, 30 cars, 30 variants, 40 variants, then it will start happening. So it will take a longer time, compared to two-wheelers and three-wheelers. That's my view. So it will coexist maybe another 15 years or so, I don't know, but this is what my feeling, my personal gut feeling, because you should have choices for the consumer. Today, if you walk into for an IC thing, you have choices. You have more than 100 models available.
Yeah.
But in EV, you only have 4 or 5. So that has to go, exponentially up from all OEMs. Then that will start happening.
ऑल ऑफ यू आपने डिस्करेज कर दिया मेरे थॉट को. मैं कटाना पे बैठ के सुबह फोटो खिंचवा रहा था, मुझे लगा था मैं घर तो ले जाऊंगा.
But for two-wheeler, three-wheeler, yes, it is happening. But for four-wheeler, I would still say it will take time. It will take time.
So it's directly proportional to the benefit to the customer. So if you see that, the switch is happening very fast in the commercial segment where the number of kilometers driven every day is very high.
Right.
Now if you have a car and you are driving 10 kilometers a day and you save 7 rupees a day, then 200 rupees a month, 2,400 rupees every month.
That's the greatest part.
But if you have to run 300 kilometers every day, you will change. And that's what's happening. So you don't have to go and check why most of the sales are happening. It's mostly going to the commercial segment.
Yeah.
They are buying the maximum because they realize it's money, extra money for them.
Yep. But एक बड़ा cultural change आ जाएगा. It will be a big cultural shock for people, especially on Delhi roads. कि वो उसने कहा आधा रेस लगाएगा तो मेरा चार्ज कम हो गया. तो ये ऑन द गो चार्जिंग, हमारा अगला सवाल यही था राघव, ऑन द गो चार्जिंग क्या इस तरह की कोई फैसिलिटी मिलेगी? अभी आप अगर थार में ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं, आप पीछे डिक्की में डीजल पेट्रोल लेके घूम सकते हैं. क्या ऑन द गो फैसिलिटीज हैं? क्या ऑन द गो चार्ज मिल सकता है?
See, there is always opportunity for more innovation is what we always believe, right? There can be many things, but at the same time, what we also believe is आप थार में 5 लीटर 10 लीटर पेट्रोल रख के चल सकते हो, but शायद अगर आप ना भरवाओ तो वो भी खत्म हो जाए. And the same is going to happen in chargers as well. You can have, let's say, a 30 kilowatt, 20 kilowatt. Batteries are very heavy though. But even if you have an extra battery pack or some innovation happening, hypothetically, that also you might still also run out batteries, right? And with charging times being so small, I mean, you can actually charge cars in 20-25 minutes, enough to drive around for, let's say, 3 days in a city. If you're very calculative about stuff, you might also not run out of charge like you don't run out of fuel at all. That's what I believe here.
So I will give you an example here. You know, I was selling off-road vehicles, electric vehicle, and I sold it to some forest department. And they posed this problem that if I go to the forest 60 kilometers inside and the battery comes off, what should I do? So we actually found a solution. We gave them a silent generator, which was running on diesel. But if you feel that that's a cheating, but then if you get stuck, you will not get stuck. You can charge it on the go.
Yeah, well, that's a smart solution anyway.
We gave that to the forest department. They bought it and they're using it right now.
Sanjay, what are the challenges you are facing right now? BYD Auto 3 मॉडल बहुत सारा बिक रहा है, या अभी भी challenges आते हैं लोगों को खरीदने से पहले जो सवाल आते हैं, अभी भी मार्केट में पेनिट्रेट करने में प्रॉब्लम्स आ रही है EVs को?
We'll start sales only in January. हमने सिर्फ bookings चालू किया है. So I think the first model which we are selling, I think 3 main questions come to the consumer mind is charging infrastructure, how much range I can get, and what is the life of, what is the residual value of the EV. I think the residual value of the EV is the biggest challenge any consumer faces across all the EV segments, because it's only 3 years or 2 years old, so people still don't know the residual value. Even finance companies are reluctant to finance loans because they don't know, like an IC engine you have a residual value. But for EVs you don't have a residual value till now. People really don't know what's the life of the vehicle, what's the residual value after 3 years or 5 years or 6 years. So I think because all vehicles are 2 years or 3 years, only after 2-3 years more in the market people will come to know about residual value. I think these are some of the 3 key questions which the consumer needs to be educated. So EV is like selling, it's not selling, it's education and making the consumer understand. It's more of a education to the consumer, and then he understands and then he buys the EV. It's not selling, just go and sell, buy it. He doesn't do that. So I think EV selling is a concept selling, it's more of an educational selling. So it will happen for the next 3-4 years before actually people start realizing the importance, and that's what all of us are doing across all regions. That's what is happening.
So quick conclusion, अगर आप तीनों की बात में मानो, आप तीनों एकदम एक्सपर्ट्स हो गए. अभी हमारे पास कार मेकर भी है, एडवाइजर भी है और चार्जर वाले भाई साहब भी हैं. तो अगर हम तीनों की बात माने तो ऐसा आज खरीदूं फिर 3-4 साल बाद खरीदनी है EV, ऐसा करना है, या आज EV में इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं? क्विकली वन लाइन आप.
2-wheeler आप EV खरीद सकते हो.
2-wheeler आप EV खरीद, अरे कार मेकर कह रहे हैं 2-wheeler
सकते हो, कार भी
See, my view is you can still buy a 4-wheeler without any apprehension. I drive one and I seriously don't face any issues. And with how things are anyway getting better. So you might have 1 or 2 challenges today, but those are going to be solved.
See, Pankaj is your friend. I know you have a diesel charger, diesel generator there in your dicky.
So I think definitely 2-wheeler, 3-wheelers are being sold and people are accepting that very fast. And 4-wheeler in the commercial segment. And this will happen. But I think one thing, if we make a change that will really expedite this, is the infrastructure where we are parking our cars. So we are talking about fast charging when we are going on the road like a petrol station. But when we park our car, there is no socket there. So what is required is to put sockets in every parking. That should be made mandatory from the government side, and it should be like any parking, whether it is a public parking or your private parking or any housing apartments parking, it should have a socket at every car that's standing, and that will help charging very fast.
Yeah, and that's why Zee News at Zee News we are trying to aware our audience, our people. We are working with the manufacturers also, and we are doing these campaigns on our digital portals, our digital handles, that people should know, people should go for these vehicles, and we are going to promote all these vehicles across. ऐसा नहीं है कि सर सिर्फ आपका ही प्रमोट करेंगे, दूसरे का भी प्रमोट करेंगे. And we know that EV is future. Let's hope for a better future and non-pollution wala, right sir? Thank you so much.
A round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Crucial takeaways from that discussion. A round of applause, please, everyone. Of 2022, special sponsors Intel, Red Bus, Canara Bank, associate sponsor IGL. Ladies and gentlemen, the world that we live in today, road safety is of utmost importance given how transportation and our network of roads is pretty much the lifeline as far as our lives are concerned. Road safety education, therefore, is of utmost importance. A quick figure here that tells us how significant road safety really is for a country like India itself. About 80,000 people are killed in road crashes every year. That's about 13% of the total fatalities all over the world. Of course, the numbers are only one part of the story. There is a need for safer user road behavior. How far have we come? What are the challenges that lie ahead? Inviting Mr. Arjit Garg, editor, Zee Mobility, to kindly come up on stage to moderate the next panel discussion that we have lined up for you. President Fada, Mr. Sankhania, you too. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Welcome. Our next panelist for this evening, for the second panel discussion, is Anurag Kushrestha, founder of Tracks. Anurag is a passionate road safety advocate with practical knowledge in safe infrastructure and planning. Kumar to please come up on stage. Amit Kumar is a seasoned business leader. He has created digital platforms and businesses which have empowered SMEs across Asia, Africa, Eastern Europe to grow their businesses and generate employment. Thank you very much for being here.
First of all, thank you for coming here and making the Zee Auto Awards such a huge success. Now, I've been told that I'm running out of time, so I'll cut to the chase here because Sushant sir he was too interested in electric vehicles, so we have to cut short on the road safety one. Now, I have been covering the auto industry for more than 10 years now, and I've been often, I've heard this expression, people saying that Indian roads are not safe. Bharat mein gaadiyan chalana safe nahi hai. But this expression is very contradictory. So, it's not very contradictory actually. So, how dangerous are these roads exactly? Well, as per the data by Ministry of Road Transport and Highways in 2020 alone, and it was the year of COVID-19, road crashes in India claimed about 1.3 lakh lives. This means 1 out of 10 who died globally in the road accident belong to India. Now I'll start this conversation by asking Mr. Manish Singhania. You represent a body of dealers across India. Do you think people are not buying safer cars, or is the industry not making safe vehicles? And let me tell you, we have the top of the top auto industry MDs and CEOs sitting here.
See, as we just heard Mr. Nitin Gadkari talking about, cars being made to a price point, but he spoke in the last decade, now Indian cars are made to a certain quality, keeping global launches and those kind of things in mind. So it would be very not right to say we don't have good quality cars with good quality safe features available in our cars. I think we have now world-class mobility solutions available with us, fantastic cars, and a lot of OEMs are in fact manufacturing those cars in India and exporting worldwide, even to Europe and US, which are the toughest market to comply to safety norms. Such that we do not comply to rules on a natural basis, and जब तक वो एक आध पुलिस वाला को दिखता है तो suddenly you remember your helmet or suddenly you remember your seat belt. So that's the case here. डंडा चलाने से we start complying, and on a normal basis, all these features are for your own safety, for the comfort of, so that you reach your home very safely and without any coincidences. The customer needs to understand that and start utilizing all these perfect safety features in the car.
Mr. Anurag, Mr. Manish said that डंडा चलाने से customer, the driver understands. पुलिस का जब तक डंडा नहीं चलता वो समझते. But I'm sure that that's not the case. The driver can't be at the fault. Now you study the roads, the design of the roads and other elements. What's the wider picture? What do you think is the reason really behind all these crashes?
This is just a psychology कि डंडा चलाने से ही लोग रोकेंगे या मानेंगे. But I'm just throwing one two is how much percentage of the vehicles are there in Delhi who are undented. Can you see the gravity of the issue? We are just neutralizing the issue by saying this 1,50,000 deaths, 3,50,000 accidents. Crores of accidents are happening in Delhi only. No vehicle you will find, around 95% vehicles are undented or dented. It means accidents are happening. Maybe severity is less. Second thing, who can reach Delhi to Meerut in 40 minutes? Any one of you. Who can reach in 40 minutes from Delhi to Meerut? Anyone? How, sir? From CP to this, where the highway starts, I took 30 minutes. Then 10 minutes you can reach from that place to Meerut.
If you stay in Greater Noida, then.
Yes, so we have to think what are we communicating to the people. Now I'm coming to the questions. In case of road safety, we have to start who am I or where we stand. Number two, what are the problems? And then what are the solutions? We are just jumping directly to the solution. We have never thought about the problems and before then where we stand. 4 crore accidents are happening in Delhi where we stand. And about this, there are 3 more pillars: enforcement, awareness, road safety management, and one another is a road user behavior counseling, and then infrastructure. United Nations and WHO says very clearly, awareness never works till the moment it is backed up by enforcement, and if it is backed up by enforcement, you must have safer, self-speaking infrastructure. Otherwise, every awareness will fail, and that is the result. The United Nations has started Decade of Action in 2011, and when I asked, fortunately I was a part of second and third high-level meeting. When I asked the WHO persons, they have discussed, they have told me very clearly, Anurag, at least after 10 years, road safety is a talk of the world. Wow, what a solution, what are the output. The United Nations has started and every country has committed for a reduction of up to 50% accidents. We have increased by 50%, but the solution and the output of 10 years of exercise by WHO and United Nations, output was that, yes, it is a talk of the town, or it is a talk of in between the different countries. And people start dying. And if we are just discussing, we are discussing about what is road safety. Yes, we all are talking road safety, road safety. What is to be done? Where we stand? So these are the things. I think I'm taking much time.
I'll come back to you, yeah. Sure. So, sir talked about the infrastructure bit. I wanted to ask you that a lot of automakers, after the government norms, are adding 6 airbags, ABS with EBD and all these features. Do you think that government is putting a burden on the common man, and this is the reason people are not buying the new age safer cars, and they might be going towards the used old cars with lesser safety features but better pricing?
See, I think one of the panelists earlier said that the common man is a businessman, right? And the common man finds the best way and the best value. I was studying some figures just sort of before entering the panel. Road safety or road accidents shave off close to 1% of the GDP for our country. Right? Globally, at a $90 trillion economy, road accidents take away $500 billion from the economy or GDP. While I am not sort of
trying to take a bigger picture and not go to the common man. I think what I want to recognize here is that there are very clear economic implications of having not so safe roads. The second thing is that in a road accident, typically who do you end up losing? It is primarily the breadwinner of the family, which has the most significant impact on the family. There is of course an evolution as far as safety standards in the cars is concerned, and I think over a period of time, as the safety standards mature, the used cars are also getting upgraded in the same way. If you look at data, 3 to 5 years back, the average cycle at which used cars were getting changed or average owning period of a car was 6-7 years. Now that has come down to more 3 to 4 years. So used cars are also becoming safer as the new cars are becoming safer. The reality is, or over a period of time, used cars in terms of number of transactions is going to grow much bigger and much faster. Used car industry will grow at around 15% CAGR, while the new cars are likely to grow at 9 to 10% CAGR. Both are very, very fast rates, but used cars definitely, because they are becoming more affordable and more safer. As the new cars become more safer, people will use more of them.
A track record when it comes to road safety in India, Mr. Manish.
From my side, I think primary thing is to educate the person who's driving the vehicle, whether it's a two-wheeler, commercial vehicle, cars, or three-wheelers. As FADA, we would be soon launching Buckle Up India campaign, where we are developing 4 to 6 videos that would be played before the delivery of the vehicle, whether it's a two-wheeler helmet buckling or whether it's a seat belt buckling. So education is one of the basic things that we can inculcate in the customer. Awareness that can be brought about in that customer, that self-awareness, self-ownership should come in. Then I think probably that obviously government has to take part in that initiative. Probably it can contribute in getting the accidents on a comfortable level.
Sanuraj.
I'll just give you one example. I think you all must be knowing about Mr. Munday's death. Seatbelt was the issue then also, 8 years back. And now Mr. Cyrus Mistry, still the seatbelt was the issue. But both the investigation shows the infrastructure was wrong over there. Even one report was submitted, 2 reports were submitted in case of Munday's death by IIT Delhi as well as Central Road Research Institute. And both the reports says the poorly managed vegetation on our roads was the cause of that Munday's death. And then in Cyrus Mistry case, yes, poor infrastructure was a problem of that. Yes, now I'm throwing one suggestion to all of you. Whenever you are moving on our roads, just feel the type of greenery you are having on medians and side of the medians. Have you ever felt that there may be accidents just because of that? Anybody can cross the road immediately, and within one moment, there is a 3-second rule for accident to take the decision in time to save the person. Can you take the 3-second time when a person is crossing from the median or the divider, and immediately you are unable to see that? What will happen? So these are the things in case of infrastructure. Yes, I do have an intervention, and I think my organization will be the only one organization in India who did the intervention at Hero Mona Chowk. And we converted it. This is a basically black spot of NHAI, and we have converted into zero death during last 1 year. Just channelization as well as pedestrian movement. These two are the key success to make road safety better. And nobody is focusing on this, but these two.